there. So in this video, I'm just gonna give a little update on how am I doing after escaping domestic abuse. Do I have any regrets? Do I want to return? Am I gonna go ahead with divorce? So, well, first let me say I am so grateful to God. God has been with me throughout these 4 years. Yes, it's been 4 years since I escaped my domestic abuse situation. It's been 4 years since I've been separated, and it's been 4 years since I've been a single mom to my three beautiful children. And I'm happy. I'm in a happy place. I'm in a place where I feel free. Um, I was imprisoned. I was imprisoned emotionally, mentally. And the imprisonment was so deep in my mind and emotionally that it felt like I was also imprisoned physically, right? The door was there, could just walk out, but in the mind of an abuse victim, that door looks like it's locked, like it's padlocked. It has chains around it, can't get through it. But now I feel liberated in my mind. I am happy. I have true joy, true happiness. When you see a smile on my face, it's a real smile. Yes. And I now see beauty, true beauty, when I look at myself in the mirror. Back then, when I look in the mirror, unless I'm like really dolled up, you know, dressed up special to go somewhere, then I see beauty. But now I see beauty even when I'm not dolled up, even when my hair is not done. When I just wake up in the morning and I look in the mirror, I see a beauty I've never seen before. I see a person I've never seen before. I see something different. I see a glow I've never seen before. I see true beauty, even when I'm not dolled up, even when my hair is not done. I'm just waking up. I see beauty, right? And that's not to brag, that's not boasting, that's not being prideful. It's just a different mindset, feeling and knowing that I am of worth and I have value. Yes, I do. And now I'm owning it. I am a woman of value. I am a woman of worth. I'm a woman of substance. I'm a strong woman. Many times I was told I'm a strong woman, but I didn't own it. But now I do. I am a strong woman. After all that I have been through, the battles I faced and won with the help of Jesus, I am a strong woman. Many could not endure what I endured. Many could not walk in my shoes. But with God's help and with God's divine strength, I escaped my domestic abuse situation, and now I am liberated in my mind. I am happy. I am glowing. You all see it too, right? Many of you send me messages, give me phone calls, and how I look now, right? And I go back and I look at pictures and I'm like, wow. I see how I see the difference, right? I looked drawn out in my face because I was so stressed daily, just stressed, and it was showing in my face, right? And but now you don't see any of that. I don't look like what I've been through, and I've been through a lot. I've experienced hell, hell on earth. My God, I have experienced torment. I mean, wow, a lot. I've been through a lot. A lot will be said when I write my books in the future to come. A lot of it not easy to digest, not easy to take in, but a lot of that I will hold for when I write my books. And but I will share many things as I go along on this journey, right? Because I am a voice. Many want to shut me up. Many don't want to see or hear me speak, but I will speak. I've had those days and that time when I stayed silent to protect others and even to protect an institution, but I'm not in that now. That is over with. Now God says you are a voice. So I am a voice and I will speak, because my speaking is not just to fall on dry ground. My speaking is to help other women, and other women will be helped from hearing me speak. And that is my future. That is my destiny, for my pain to be a purpose, right? All the pain that I went through, physical pain, emotional pain, mental anguish. I mean, I know a woman's pain. Oh, yes, I know pain. Pain of the heart. That's the worst pain. It's worse than physical pain. Pain of the heart. That one lingers on for a very long time. But as I got separated, my healing began right away, I have to say. Most times it's after everything is like totally said and done, after all court and everything is over, then many begin to get their healing at that time, their inner healing. But I have to say, my healing began right away, and God just started to minister to me, right? He started to pour into me spiritually, and so it spread all over. I began to heal mentally, emotionally. I began to heal, and I became even more stronger than I was before, right? I have more confidence now. I'm not walking around in shame anymore. I was in a lot of shame in the beginning, a lot of shame, but no more, no more. And God has just been with me all the way. He never left me, right? I was no longer living with a husband, so he became my husband man. I mean, that is incredible. We know God as a healer, a provider, but as standing as a husband, wow, that was new to me. But he became a husband man to me, right? He took care of me the way a husband should. He did. Provided for me, make sure I make it out of my distresses, made sure I had victories when I had difficult situations to deal with, especially all these court procedures, and God came through every time. And so, with how liberated I'm feeling right now, not having a man to say the most disgusting things to me anymore, I don't have to hear that anymore. I don't have to be dragged around anymore, punched anymore. In fear, there was a lot of inner fear that I had dealt with, just knowing that he's angry now, and as the door opens, my heart starts to pound because here comes the angry man. Oh my goodness. Wow. There was so many fear. It got to a point where there was fear for me to say something to him. If I wanted to talk about something, I had so much fear inside of me of what the reaction is going to be, that I had so much fear to speak to him. So much fear, overcome with fear to speak. So much fear. To the point where if I really had something I needed to discuss with him or talk about or ask, I would literally rehearse it in my mind, what I'm going to say, how I'm going to say it, when I'm going to say it. I would do that all the times, just rehearse whatever it is. It could be the simplest thing. I would rehearse it in my mind first to see how am I going to say it to him, because I just fear a reaction, or just fear voicing my opinion. It was like it wasn't okay for me to have an opinion anymore of anything. It had to be his thoughts, his ways. It's almost like if I think something is blue and he think it's green, I better say it's blue, because if I say it's green, oof, it's like a big vicious argument. And I say vicious because I'll be called the most disgusting things. And my neighbors can attest to all these things. They heard the things he was calling me. And they heard it so well too most times, because he would literally on purpose go and open the front door, go to the back, open the back door, and then yell out, you this, you that, all the explicits. So they heard everything. My neighbors can attest to everything that I say, right? It was no secret. It couldn't be any secret. I tried to keep it a secret, but I couldn't keep it a secret amongst my neighbors. They heard it. And when I knew that they heard the things, when I would leave to go to the store or wherever I was going, or to work, I would hold my head down like this and just walk through the door, and would not hold my head back or look around until I got into my car and the door was closed. I would just go straight out the door in the car, because I was ashamed and embarrassed. The neighbors can tell you that, right? And so I've been through a lot. Just dealing with anger, dealing with rage. For almost, it came to the point where anger and rage for nothing, for no good reason. Just anger and rage. I remember this particular time, an event was being kept at the church, and we came home late. I got home first with the kids, and there was no parking close to where my house is, and so I had to park a bit way up the street. So I parked, walked down to the house. Then sometime after, he came home now, and he said, oh, there's a space at the house. Go get your car and park it there. So apparently at some point, by he came home, somebody moved, so there was a closer space to the house. And so he said, go get your car and park it there. And I said, and it's late, very late, maybe after 1 or so, maybe it was later. Exhausted, right? Because I don't just go to church and sit down and look pretty, right? Like most first ladies, no offense. But I'm active. I was a co-pastor, right? So I was also in leadership. So plus I have 3 young children. So I'm exhausted coming in that late. So I said, so my response to him saying, go ahead and get your car and park it in the space that's closer. I just responded, no, it's okay. I'll just leave it. I'm tired. Now, this is my car. He has his own car. So my car being parked, even if it was parked in the next town, had no effect on him, right? Because he has his own car that he's driving. But when I responded, no, it's okay because I'm tired, I'll just leave it, his response was, oh, you... Yeah, just imagine what word he said. Call me out of my name. This, that, just in anger and rage. And I'm just like, wait a minute, like we're just coming from church. You're just coming from church. This is my car. It's late at night. Why would you want me to go out, go up the street by myself late at night, anyways, just to come do that? And it was just this loud rage, cursing, profanity in the house. And to make it stop, I had to go get my keys, car keys, and go up and move the car for it to stop. I mean, it was just crazy. I remember a time way far back when I was 6 months pregnant with my first son, my oldest son. And I was driving at the time. We went to the store, coming back. For some reason, he wanted to stop when we were passing by some place. He wanted to stop. So he said, "Oh, pull over. I'll be right back." So I pulled over and he went wherever he went. I can't remember what it was or why he stopped to go to that place. And then he came back to the car. When he got in the car, there was a truck coming from way down the street. And I could see it in my mirror, the truck coming, and he saw the truck. So then he says, "Oh, hurry up and drive the car before the truck comes." So then I responded, because he's saying it in a rough manner, aggressive manner, and hurry up, everything was a rush. So then I responded, I'm pregnant. I'm not gonna rush because of any truck. You know what I'm saying? We're on our way home. As a matter of fact, I remember we were now going home. Our home was like 2 blocks ahead. What is the rush? And I'm pregnant. Why are you rushing me, right? So my response was, I'm not gonna go. I'm pregnant. I'm not gonna go rush because a truck's coming. By the time I said that, the next thing I know, he's punching me, right? So he's on the passenger side, and I'm just immediately blocking and saying, "The baby, the baby, the baby," right? Trying to block my stomach area and saying, "The baby," and I'm saying, I'm calling out to him, "The baby, the baby." And it's like he's so far gone in anger and rage, he's not even hearing me, it seems like. And he's just punching me in the car in bright daylight, simply because I said I'm not gonna rush because I'm pregnant, to rush out, to drive out quick before the truck comes. So it became like simple things, just anything. It's like a dynamite go off, and here comes this anger and rage, and it was just deadly, 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 deadly. So with all that I've been through, the physical, the emotional, the mental, the anguish, feeling many times that I want to kill myself, because it felt like the only way to be out of this or for it to end is to end me, right? So those feelings are real. It's just a mental thing. As I said, the door is open, but it seemed like it was locked, right? And I'm not the only one who feel this way. So when I speak, really, I'm speaking. I could really say I'm speaking for many abuse victims, many women who have been in abusive situations. There's something that happens mentally, because this abuse situation is not happening right away, full blown in one day. It's over time, and as you're living with it, dealing with it, it just gets worse. But it's over time with the abuser saying things and doing things that messes with your mind as well. So mentally you're being groomed a certain way and groomed to believe a certain thing, even believing that, oh, no one else will love you, and you just need to stay in this, deal with this, and there's just a lot to it. And that's why many can understand, and many will ask, which I called what I call the $1,000,000 question: why did you stay? Right? There's so many reasons for that. There's so many emotional thoughts and moments that happen in the woman's mind. And again, it's happening over time. So then you begin to believe a certain thing, think a certain way, and your strength begin to diminish, right? You're broken down mentally. So, you know, after just dealing with all of that, and it just felt like the only escape is through death. Yes. So many times I imagine or thought about just walking out in traffic. That's the one I would that would come to my mind many times more than anything else. When it comes to the thought of taking my life, it was always walking out of traffic. I would just imagine myself just open the front door for a house and just walking out when a car is coming. Or yeah, I mean, I've gotten to the place of almost insanity. I literally felt my mind being at the edge. It's like being at the edge of a cliff, and all you need is a little push, and you're right there into insanity. You fall over. You go over. I literally felt that happening in my mind. Just one little push, and I'm right into insanity. But I didn't go over because God said no. God said no. That insanity will not be a part of me, right? God refused to let me go there. But I felt it, literally feel it in my head, to the point where there was one time I sat down just shaking, hyperventilating, like just feel like I'm gonna go crazy because the things that's being said, it's like so vicious and heartless, no empathy. And the fact that it's coming from your husband, it's just like unbelievable. And it just creates a pain that is just so deep, so excruciating. I remember just being in so much emotional pain. It's brutal. It's brutal. It's brutal. And so I've been through a lot. And one of the worst pain, when I look back now, that aches me, and I have to push it from my mind to not dwell on it. One of the things that hurts me deeply now when I think about it is my son, my oldest son, seeing me get hit. Just imagining now, because now I'm not in the situation. I'm not moving without being able to think and process things. But now I'm at a place where I can process things, right? I can process what has happened and what I've endured. And so now when I process what my older son has been through, him seeing me getting punched, hit, imagine, and I'm just imagining that if it's me seeing this man just punching and hitting and making my mom bleed, I mean, I just understand. I just imagine the anguish that he went through. And so that's one of the things I've learned and come to realize, that when the woman is going through the abuse, even though it's more directed towards her, she's not the only one hurting. She's not the only one in emotional pain. She's not the only one being affected. The children are being affected too. And I didn't see that way at that time. To me, it's happening to me. So it's me who's hurting, right? But now I see how much my older son was hurting. Now I see the pain he was in. Going to school, worrying if my mom's okay. That is like so painful for me to think about. And I've even apologized to my son, apologize for not leaving earlier, because the longer I stayed, the longer he was enduring all of that he was seeing and experiencing, all those emotions. So I've apologized to my son. But, we've experienced and been through a lot. But I have no regrets, escaping it now. I have no regrets that my abusive marriage is going to end. Yes, we are getting a divorce. I am getting a divorce. We will be going through divorce, and we are going to through divorce. First, we had to deal with other things, right? So that's why I'm not divorced yet, because there was arrest involved and all of that, attacks, physical attacks. Um, I'll talk about that one some other time. The last physical attack. So different arrests were involved. So I had to deal with criminal court, family court, um, children services. That was against him. The district attorney called child services, and it's against him, not against me, because of his behavior in front of the children. So I had to deal with that. Custody I had to deal with. So that took 4 years, 4 years of court sessions, right? And it was a journey. It was a journey. It was a journey. Um, and I'll talk about that in another video. But today I just want to give you an overall of, some of what I've been through, how I'm feeling now. And I'm telling you, I'm feeling wonderful. So again, I have no regrets being separated now. It was the best thing, because if I had stayed longer, maybe you would have been attending my funeral. But God wasn't gonna allow that. So it came to a place where God said, "This is it now. I'm taking you out of this. I'm going to give you the strength to leave, the strength to not get pulled back in. I'm going to open your eyes to see some things that you didn't see before. I'm going to open your eyes to what you're also dealing with. It was narcissistic abuse I was dealing with. Narcissism, it's real. It's real, and it's ugly, and it's demonic, and it's terrible. Only God can deliver a narcissist. Only God. And he can only be delivered if he opens his heart to it and realize his problem. That's the only way. A counselor cannot change a narcissist. It can't be counseled, because you're dealing with a demonic spirit, a demonic entity that's fueling that person, right? Fueling the anger that person and the rage that person already has, right? So only deliverance can do that. So pretty much my soon to be ex partner has been left to a reprobate mind. Still no change. Yes. No, he hasn't changed. There's still things I'm dealing with behind the scenes, still giving me irritations, in different ways that he can. Because we have children together, right? And all of that. So with that you can't totally get rid of that person, out of your life. Yes, you're not together anymore. You're separated and divorced and all of that. But there still has to be some type of, this person still existed in your life, because you still have to bring the children so he can have his visitation with the children, and while those visits are happening, different irritations, and it's just a lot, but it is definitely better than living in that, and the law is involved now, so there's more control to the situation. Yes. And I realized real early that was needed, when he didn't want me to do custody. It was needed. The law has to be involved, meaning the rules have to be in place, and only the law can put those rules in place so that there will be some sort of order and control, because that person is out of control. That person is out of control. So to have some sort of order, where everything is involved, yeah, the law needs to be in the midst of the situation. Yes. So, but I am doing good. I am doing well. I am grateful to God, because not many women escaped the way I did. Not many women end up in a good position the way I did. And, but it's all because of God. I've never put God out of my life. Never. And He's the reason why I'm at a good place right now. He's the reason why I'm not in a shelter right now. I didn't have to experience a shelter situation. Almost was going to happen that way, but God, He shifted things around. I mean, He's a good God. He's a good God. So I encourage you, live for Jesus. Live for Him. Give Him your heart totally, and He will bring you through. If you're in an abusive situation, get out of it and trust God. Give it to Jesus and get out of it. Get out of it. And God will do the rest. You do your part. He's not going to come down from heaven, hold your hand and walk you out, right? So you have to do your part. And so you do the work and you have faith. Because faith without works, in most situations, it says it's dead, right? So do your part and God will do the rest. He will. If you're living for Him, He has to. He's obligated to take care of you. And I lived for Him. I lived for Him. And I lived in truth. And so He was obligated to take care of me. I didn't expect it to be to the extent that I experienced it, but God came through. And so I went through 4 years of court, and I have 1 more year to get through this year. I have my total freedom from all of that. And that's the way it has to be. Why? Because this person refused to change. There's no change. There's no owning what he has become. And so when someone is like that, they then become, they are left to a reprobate mind, right? That means it's almost like you're cut away from God in a sense. So you're just doing what you're doing, carrying on with life, but your end is not looking bright as far as when Jesus should return, right? So, but God has been good. God has been good. So I have no regrets. I am happy, and God has shown me and all of that, shown me what my future will be, and it shall be so. It shall be so. In Jesus' name. Yes. And so I am, with all that He has shown me that I'm going to experience and what He's going to bless me with in the future, whew, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. Those things are going to, and as a matter of fact, those things are going to begin to manifest this year. Yes, this year, 2022. All of that, those things that He has promised that He's going to bless me with, is going to begin to manifest in Jesus' name. And so God is good. God is good. I'm at a good place. And I'm sure you can see that the happiness, the joy in my face. And I'm just going to continue living for Jesus and do what He wants me to do. I'm going to continue to minister, to speak about domestic abuse as well. And all of what He wants me to do, I will do. Yes, yes, yes. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And I have more videos to come. Take care.